conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." All this took place to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet. "Look, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel," which means God is with us. When Joseph awoke from his sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took her as his wife, but had no marital relations with her until she had borne a son, and he named him Jesus. The word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
Please stand as we sing Emmanuel, Emmanuel.
Maybe, Steve. We're coming into the time of year when it's not difficult to write sermons. Sermons kind of write themselves. They just what we try to do is tell the story, and the way so and the hope is that in our understanding of the story and our retelling of the story, that we will pass it on to somebody, that we will give it to somebody, so that the story that we've come to know will be the story. This is the good news. We're required to tell the good news to the next generation, and to our own generation who's never heard the good news. So, as far as the script for today, then the sermon message for today is kind of easy, because I don't really have to do anything much more than just kind of create a few images or random thoughts to kind of help you in the process. And so this is a random thought sermon, which helps me out a bunch, because I just kind of see where I'm going with this right now. I don't have to start here and get here. Maybe I do, but maybe I don't. So the first thing that we'll do, random thought, is the next screen. This is where we'll start with. I hope that it's the Wizard of Oz. What does that have to do with the story today? I was so caught up with this as a child, because this was my movie, and I never did understand anybody who said I didn't like that movie or that they didn't understand it, because this was the greatest movie ever. As a kid, I was captivated by this. And so when we get to the very end of it, when Dorothy clicks her heels together 3 times and finds her way back into the bedroom that she left, and she says, "It was so real. It was so, you were there with me. All of you, and you, and she's telling the story, and I'm saying, why don't you believe her? I was this big. Come on. Dorothy has this story to tell that she's lived in, and the Wizard of Oz. And of course it was all real, munchkins and flying things and witches and all that. Of course it was real. Joseph has a dream. So there's one definition of a dream that I want to start with on this one, because this one's pretty true, and I like this one here. A series of thoughts, images, and sensations according to a person's occurring in a person's mind during sleep. So, do you guys have lots of dreams? And I like this one here. The reason I put this up is not because I like the person who created it. I like the thought behind it. A dominant idea. Yeah. That's ever present within us, constantly provokes us to greatness, and awakens a desire to do all that we can do all we can do to be more than we are. Now that's a dream. That's a vision for a dream. So, you know where I'm going with this. The story from Matthew today. Joseph, there's an event in his life, and Joseph lays down and goes to sleep, and he's visited by an angel. And in his dream, this is not the same conversation that belongs in Luke. Okay, in Luke's text, Mary is the one who gets the Annunciation. The angel of the Lord comes to her, speaks to her, and she answers back. She talks to the angel. They have a dialogue, a conversation here. And she gets to even say, how can this be? And all this kind of stuff. She even gets to ask questions. What's Joseph get? Yeah, what he gets is nothing. He gets to sleep, dream this, wake up, and now he has to determine, like most of us do, that when we have one of those real vivid dreams, the ones that you always have, and I know you have them, the ones that it just keeps coming back and is kind of wondering where's that coming from, and it's so real. Is it real? It could be real. It could be like the Wizard of Oz. Says, of course, you were there. You were there. So Joseph has this dream. Joseph is talked about in our story this morning, and we heard it read a couple times, that he's a just man. He's a just man. So he's one who understands a lot of things. He's a good guy. He's like all of you. Joseph is a good guy. And Joseph wants to do the right thing. But the angel comes to him and gives him, because the story tells us that somewhere along the line, this person that he was betrothed to, she's kind of stepped out on him, right? I mean, we get the message that at some point in time, she's found to be with child. And dear Joseph, do you see, we don't see the tension in this text, because we focus more on the way that we have domesticated it. We focus more on the way that we shorten it up, and we know the way that it's going, so we don't see what's actually going on between two people. And so we just kind of just gloss that over a little bit because we got a good ending coming up, and so, why bother with this? But if you're Joseph, what do you think? You're not happy about the situation, and we don't know how much time it took between the time that he figures out that she's with child and to the time that the angel comes. You see any tension there? Maybe just a little? I mean, Joseph is being a just man. He's probably a smart man. He understands biology, and he knows how this works, and Houston, we have a problem. And so I am absolutely certain, as you are, that probably conversation took place around this issue. Or maybe it didn't. Maybe he just said, I'm done with you. I'm not speaking to you ever again. See, that's all conjecture. We don't know what happened there. We don't really know what happened there. But what I do know is human beings, being what they are, when he found her to be with child, he probably didn't say, okay. Do you see any tension now? Joseph has a big decision to make. It's kind of funny, though, that in all of our dealings with this, and with the Matthew text, that even if we superimpose Luke on top of this, what does Joseph say? That's exactly right. Nothing. Joseph never says a word in the whole thing. See, because a righteous man isn't judged by what he says. A righteous man is judged by what he does. Yes, we're starting to see this now. We're starting to see kind of the way that we're going with this right now. And attention that we have, and the power of our dreams to shape us. Because the dreams is what's important here. The dream is important. The dream is not something we want to dismiss. The fact that Joseph had this dream. Because in the Old Testament, this happens a lot, doesn't it? The angel of the Lord usually speaks to someone in a dream. Peter's vision that he had. So we have dreams and visions and the appearance of angels that come and talk to him. This is the way God communicates sometimes in a dream. Somebody speaks to you and you can't figure this out, but it seems so real. So when this angel comes to talk to you, go back one. So is this your vision of the angel that come to spoke with you? See, this is the angels on the Sistine Chapel. I mean, this could be an angel, right? I just don't figure that the angel that came to Joseph and appeared to him in his vision, I don't figure this is what the angel looked like. I'm not even sure the next one works any better with the angel that in Luke, the angel that speaks to Mary has a name. His name is, come on folks. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Gabriel. His name is Gabriel. So we know that at least the angel that speaks to Mary in the Luke text is a male. Actually, this has a name to it. If you look at it, this is the Garden of Eden when God cast it and put the cherubims at the entrance to the garden. And the sword of fire that was there to protect anyone from coming back in. That's not your heavenly angel that looks like a cherub, a baby that floats around or whatever. This is a mean dude. Somebody you don't really want to mess with. So we don't know in Joseph's vision what this angel of the Lord that came to him and spoke to him looks like. But we got a feeling that whatever it was fairly convincing. It was really convincing. Really convincing. Now, this one here works okay for me. Kinda. I'm not sure that the angels need wings, but that works for some people. So anyway, that we have the story that Joseph is visited by the angel, and after that happens, then we know that he has a change of heart. And now he is willing to accept this child that's within him. Do you ever get that gnawing feeling, that this vision, this dream that you had, that maybe you're called to act on that too? Because sometimes that when we get so caught up in our day-to-day that we don't understand the fact that for us even, that it's prophesied that when God starts his redemptive process with us on the face of the earth, Joel, the prophet, the one that we read usually on during Ash Wednesday, about a redemption process is going to take place. It says that it shall come to pass after I'll pour out my spirit on all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Have you seen any visions lately? I'm not talking about after a long Saturday night. That doesn't apply to any of you, I know that. Not recently, anyway. So anyway, does God speak to you? And what about your dreams? You know, that I wonder, does God put something so profound on your heart that you, like Joseph, know that this is not the way that it's supposed to work? That for our happiness depends upon the fact that she's not pregnant. I can't take her home like this. She's betrothed to me. I have not had anything to do with her, and there's a penalty for that. A big penalty for that. She's been unfaithful, perhaps. And actually, Joseph is in trouble on this one too, because that falls under the category of Deuteronomy 22:22 of fornication, sexual relations outside of the bounds of marriage, because they're not married yet. So even his buddies are probably thinking, you know, you're in trouble now. Because he very well could have been, and she is doomed regardless. Even if he decides that he doesn't want to have her stoned, if he exposes her publicly, what do you think her chances are for a successful future, for another husband, for someone else that would pick her up and say, we all had it wrong? We wonder works this way, in such a way. But we don't have to look far to figure that out. Because God does things that's just so strange for us. Plants visions within us. That Joseph, being this righteous man, he decided that he's going to live out his dream. He knows the dream that God gave him. And he is very much assured of that dream. And he's going to take her to be his wife. And that's a process for them. You have an engagement period. I know, when you got engaged, was that like a contract? Do you remember that? Yeah, because it was for them. They actually sat down and drew up a contract. Not more and more we're headed that way, but the way that we get engaged and stuff with prenuptial agreements and things like that. But that's kind of what they were doing there. They get engaged, and after the engagement, which is a legal contract, then they have this period of betrothal that happens, that where they're not married, but they are married, but they can't consummate the relationship until he takes her home. And he can't take her home to daddy looking like this. He's got a big decision to make. But God lays it on his heart. God shows him a vision. God, in a dream, shows him the possibilities of something else. Something greater than that. You ever have that dream that you can't shake? It's yours? I think of this when I listen to some of the big dreamers of our world, the ones that have this big vision of something that could be greater than what we really are. That quote is back there about what dreams are. Dreams are something that take us to another place, that says that I'll be with you no matter what, and I will make you do things you haven't even thought about yet. Gladys knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. Think about that. So now we make ourselves, we put ourselves in this idea. What kind of visions might we have? I know back in the 60s when things were so wrong here with our own nation, that there was somebody that stood up and said, I have a dream, and it won't let go. It won't let go.